It looks like the back and forth between T.I. and Charleston White just won't stop. After the two win at each other online, White will continue to add fuel to the fire by saying he's not going to stop. On Tuesday night during his live with Funny Marco, White would say that he'll stop going after rappers once they change their lyrics. Now, this would be the first time White has revealed why he's been antagonizing rappers. But the question is, do we believe him? Today we have our comedy hype analyst, Yamanika Saunders, and Pierre called to the show to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Listen, I'm one of them niggas got to be killed. No. Nigga like me just don't go away. Listen, nigga, I'm so bad I got T.I. online talking. I got celebrities responding to me, and I'm not even a celebrity. Nobody's been able to do this. No, so why would I quit now? Man, nigga got to Nipsey hustle me, baby. Hell no. Or I'm on DMX myself. I want T.I. son in jail.
Oh, God.
That's some pussy. I want to put rappers in jail. There's nothing more pleasurable than walking around with a heart on, knowing you the nigga got rapping niggas scared to mention your name. If I get every rapper that's rapping right now to write a Dear Mama song, I'll quit.
No, listen.
As long as they don't.
Why you not
they got to change. No, they got to write a Dear Mama song.
Why you not with the Isley brothers? With them.
Ain't nobody ever done a drive-by and killed now nigga listening to the Isley brother. Ain't now nigga came home and kicked this bitch in our ass listening to Isley brother. Bitch got her ass whooped from listening to Pimp C. So no, I'm attacking rappers. They done had free reign to destroy the community. Why y'all ain't got no problem with these niggas?
Now, I want to go straight into reactions, Pierre. I know we talked a little bit about this today, but now we're actually hearing his motive behind it. So what's your reaction? And also, what do you think about his motive of why he's doing what he's doing on the internet?
First of all, hey, quiet back there. I'm on comedy hype. Damn. All right. Sorry. I'm back on the show. Why he doing what he doing? Maybe he has a death wish. I mean, obviously he has. It's going to catch up to him. You know, street laws are different. You know, he can talk all he wants online. I understand what he feels. You know, he's tired of the negativity in rap and, you know, pushes a lot of negative images and so forth. And people go out and do the stuff. I've always said that. I've never understood why on social media you could talk about carrying a gun, shooting your ops all day long. And you know, but as soon as you say you want to smack somebody from the LGBT community, they want to rip your page down. So there, you know, the system is promoting negativity and pushing that stuff out to people who are rappers, and he's getting tired of it. And there's a faction of our society who are getting tired of hearing rappers talk about killing each other left and right, you know, and he's speaking up on it. So, you know, kudos to him for speaking up on it. I just think he's going at it in a little difficult ways. It's not going to be fruitful, I believe.
Right. And I want to hit on some of those points, but I want to bring Yamanika in because Yamanika, I know you weren't with us yesterday, so I'd love to get your reaction to this, but also what do you think about, you know, Charleston White revealing his motive of why he's doing exactly what he's doing?
Well, number one, I don't know if it's true that women didn't get their ass beat to the Isley brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a few bitches got their ass beat to Footsteps in the Dark. You know what I mean? That's what Footsteps in the Dark was about. A bitch hearing footsteps of some nigga that'll get ready to beat her ass.
Yeah, I'm you stupid.
I mean, it's commendable, right? It's commendable that he's doing this. But to me, to people that he's not speaking to me, right? He's not speaking to Pierre. We already understand sort of the negativity. He's speaking to the children, so I guess he has to speak in the way. The way he speaks is an irritant to me because it's all this grandiose. Like, I think the thing that bothers me the most is like, you're playing around, but you're talking to niggas that are serious. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And all this, you want to kill me. Didn't they kill him? They killed the comedian before that said something about a rapper and stuff. That's what he was speaking about. So like, I wouldn't put that kind of energy out to people who don't have any regard for life. They don't have regard for their community. You don't know what they up, you know, anything that's a challenge to them brings them out in a weird way. But I think also there was a little bit of grandiosity that I saw in him of like, you know, I'm this dude that has all these rappers coming to me and I ain't even a celebrity. It's like, it's a slippery slope before you become a part of the problem that you're trying to stop. when you have this sort of grandiose personality that's all about, look what I can do. Listen, don't nothing happen that God don't want to have happen. So let's always have humility with that.
Absolutely. Now, you guys kind of already answered the second question that I had was, do you think his strategy is effective? So, of course, if you want to add to that, Pierre, I'm going to come back to you, but add something on top of that. Being that we've had this conversation before, right, about what lyrics are doing to our community and what we're seeing. It started off one way, but over time it has changed a lot. How do you think we shift that in our culture where we do start seeing certain things stop being pushed or stop being put out there by our community, for our community, to see that change that we want to see without necessarily, putting them in a situation where they may be hurt? And by them, I mean like rappers, drug dealers, people who have experienced their life, without hurting them. How do we shift, that in our culture without hurting them as well?
But we don't know if it's going to work or not. We're in the beginning stages of it. It could manifest into something. Well, most likely it ain't all going to stop. That ain't never going to happen. But I'm noticing online that there's a lot more people who are supporting Charleston White, than they were in the beginning. I'm hearing a lot more people when he speaks. I look into the comments, they're like, man, he may be raw with it, but he real with it. I'm feeling him. I see a lot more of that. So obviously it's working in some effect. I just don't want to see another black man get killed, over something like this, man. I understand how he feels, but I think the way he goes about it may be a little too strong. And we won't know if it's successful as far as moving the needle somewhat. Maybe somebody might say, like I said about social media, might say, let's stop showing these rappers on here talking about killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody over at YouTube may say that. Let's bring this down a notch. And if it is, then someone like Charleston White, maybe he had his mission was done, but he's never going to stop them all. That's not going to happen, And I think it's going to happen pretty soon. If they're going to fade him out, or unfortunately somebody's going to take him out. And I hope that doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Now, Yamanika, I want to bring that same question to you because I actually did read a tweet of yours that says, hey, if they banned Kanye when he was saying anti-black statements, this could all have been avoided. So it seems there's this big push, when there are things that are anti-black, it continues to be, pushed to the forefront. So what do you think? How do you think we make that change or see that shift in our culture to see the change that we want to see? Yamanika.
It's a thing that I said a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about statements that Eddie Griffin had made in terms of voting for Biden or voting for Trump. And in the comments section, you can tell what people's mindsets are, because anytime that there's a comment from a commentator that suggests any type of responsibility from the Black community, instantly people are turned off, or they think you're speaking like a Candace Owens or something like that. We all know what has happened to our culture. We understand that we have been socially and economically disenfranchised. We understand that our forefathers and our foremothers gave free labor to this country and really built this country and has never received reparations for it. In the process of that, we have also, as Black people, learned to treat ourselves as second-class citizens like everybody else and not respect one another. So it is very hard for people to feel like they're going to reach out and respect a group of people who don't respect themselves. It would be a waste of time. So when Kanye West says something derogatory about the Jewish community because they don't play, and because whenever you say something against Jewish people, there's repercussions that are going to affect your career, ask Nick Cannon, people don't play around with them. You can say whatever you want about Black people. We don't stick together to stop anybody's career. We complain or we ask people to stop doing this and stop doing that. We don't have any fortitude or solitude in anything that we do. That's why our communities are constantly being torn down. What the biggest issue is that T.I. has a son who is out here acting as if he is a hooligan, like someone that grew up in the inner city that has no choices. T.I.'s son has choices. He has a safety net from T.I. When he makes a decision that's going to put him in jail, he has a daddy that can bail him out, a daddy that can send him somewhere for safety. The culture that they rap to are these young men in these gangs and in these inner cities. That's a whole hierarchy that we have no understanding about. It is a group of men who have created a space in which they control in an environment where they have no control. Unfortunately, in that environment, they are punching down on their own people only because that's the only people they have access to. So white people have no problem sequestering Black boys who are going to be violent and aggressive to their own communities inside their own communities. And they feel as if they're powerful and they feel as if they're kings because they are able to take lives. But they know most certainly that if they wanted to do that same sort of shenanigans and hijinks, they would not be able to do that in a white community because they would be stopped. So how are we going to stop some shit that's been going on for eons? I have no idea. I don't think anything can stop it because it's its own personality, it's its own entity, and it is thriving inside the inner communities, and no one seems to want to be able to stop it. And the people that are victim to it, that have to live around it because they have no other resources, are helpless.
Now, speaking of T.I., T.I. would respond just talking about how he feels at this current moment. So I want to take a look at that clip and then come back and get y'all's thoughts. So let's take a look at that clip.
It's the second time I've seen my family attacked. And I've seen social media weaponized times. I watched. The community have absolutely nothing to say. Watch friends, or people who we say are friends. I watch people who we have donated our time, effort, energy, resources, look on as not just me, no, my family, my wife, my children. None of these organizations, none of the leaders of these different communities, nobody thought to stand up. Like, that where we at with it, let's let it stay up.
Now, Pierre, I want to come to you. So it seems T.I., feels he's in a place where he's not receiving, not respect, but no support from the community. Nobody's empathizing or sympathizing with this situation, which kind of puts a lot of people in the comments, in the question, do they deserve to be empathized or sympathized with, even though some people may feel like, your lyrics in the past have hurt our community or your actions in the past have hurt our communities? Do you think drug dealers and rappers deserve, to be empathized with and sympathized with from our community when they're going through situations like this?
Well, I don't want to speak on all rappers, I don't know, but I'm gonna talk about T.I. I can feel his pain. At the end of the day, he's a father, has a child who's being attacked. At the end of the day, I don't care if he's a rapper or whatever. We outside who aren't going through that can say, oh, it's your problem, that's your fault, whatever. But we know, we would do almost anything to protect our children, regardless if our children is wrong or not, our child is wrong or not. We'll do anything. And he's in a precarious position. This guy is on social media talking trash and talking reckless about him. And nothing he can really do. He can't really touch him. They ain't in the same room with him and stuff. And T.I. is smart enough to know that he doesn't want to do anything harsh that would, ruin his empire to this man. And I can feel his disappointment in saying people didn't get around him, go around him and rally around him. Unfortunately, sometimes people don't rally around you. It's just some people don't want to be part of that. They jump into that, and Charleston White was on their ass and shit. They don't want to be part of that. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel his pain. We're easy to say, well, he deserves, he a rapper, he part of the problem, whatever. But I think he does a lot more for the solution. If you look at T.I., he does more. He gives out, like you said, for the homeless. He had to start a record company. He pushes a lot of positivity too. Let's not forget about that. Absolutely. And when he sees his son, his son might be a rebel rouser, a little young cat doing that. But at the end of the day, it's his loved one and his child. And we'll do anything to protect our child. And I think he's at a point where he's just so frustrated that he can't really do anything right now to protect his child. So I feel his pain, man. And like I said, Charleston White is messing with a hornet's nest, man, at the end of the day. And I just hope he doesn't get stung in a terrible way.
Right, and we've seen T.I., progress over time. And to add to that list, he's also doing affordable housing right here in Atlanta with his wife. So, he is doing things for the community. But Yamaneika, let me bring you in on that. What are your thoughts after seeing that? We're able to see him humanized in that moment, not upset or, pissed off or anything, but just being very vulnerable in a moment. What do you think when it comes to having empathy or sympathy for people in our community that may have what people would consider hurt our community at one point?
I was fortunate enough to be in T.I.'s presence. He's a lovely man. You know, and it's you know, unfortunate because a lot of times people see us on certain things and then you get to see the person behind the scene. He's a very lovely man. And his wife they're very lovely. It's very mild, meek, you know, sort of soft-spoken people. But I think not everybody is going to know them in that regard. We can only speak on you as how you present, right? Every week, Pierre and I come here at Symphony and we lay everything out on the line, right? And then people make an opinion about the things that we're saying because we are standing hard on issues. It would be asinine for me to think that as much as I speak in response to supporting Black women, you know, that there's not going to be some dude that's going to get upset and call me a feminist. That's not going to get upset, even though I'm not a feminist, or get upset and say certain things, or people have a certain. I can't act like my comments don't lend to that and then be shocked and then go, where is everyone to protect me? I mean, we have to be very aware of our presence and what we present and then stand on it. I think it is a situation where what can we say? The music is inciting the children, and the children are responding in real time, and the real time affects us in real time. I'm in Harlem, and I love Harlem. I think it's one of the best places in the world. The niggas out here and the danger that's going on right here has become outrageous. And there's citizens that are affected, specifically Black citizens here. I watch white people move into Harlem all day long, skipping and walking around with their children because they know nobody's going to touch them. As a Black citizen around other Black people, I don't feel safe around other Black people, but white people can come into our environment and feel safe because they know that no matter what we do, we know our toxicity better not rain on their parade or there's repercussions. So when you have music that makes it sound okay, that you can go and somebody do something to you and bang, bang this, somebody step on your shoes, you think that that means you can take somebody's life? Somebody disrespects you, you think words mean you can take somebody's life? And people are running around on respect. You did this to disrespect me. You did that to shit on me. And then white people be shitting on you all day long and you ain't got no response for them. So yeah, the music needs to change, but I'm telling you, it is not going to change because we were all young. We all listened to that shit. We all thought all the old people that they always running their mouth. It ain't that serious. It is that serious. But by the time these kids realize the shit is that serious, they're going to be our age. So yeah, T.I. needs to be a little more responsible, and these rappers need to be a little more responsible about the content that they put out, but they're not going to do it. So we just keep going back and forth like a ping pong.
Man, well, I do hope, you know, over time, hopefully we do see something, because I think you make a great point that we are seeing it in real time and experiencing real time. And just in, you know, my few years here on the earth, I have seen it just get worse and worse. So hopefully there is something that happened, because it needs to happen. But I appreciate you both for chiming in on this topic. Of course, before we head out, I do want to end on a lighter note and know what you have coming up. So Pierre, I'll start with you. Even though you came on here making us jealous with the jacket.
Yes.
What do you have coming up, Pierre? How can people follow you?
This Saturday night, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky at the X Lounge. Like I said, October 15th, Saturday. This Saturday, I'm at the X Lounge in Louisville, Kentucky. Holla at your boy. We got a great show on my podcast. We got my man Arnez J on there. Very funny, very insightful, man. A lot of good stuff. So go over there to my podcast when you get a chance at Comic Pierre on YouTube. Check it out. Let me know that you came from here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Make sure you put in the comments, give Yamanika and Symphony a jacket. Yamanika, I'm going to come over to you. What do you have coming up, and how can people follow you?
So you can follow me everything at Yamanika. And you can follow me at, if I don't get a jacket from Pierre, it's going to be problems. I want one of those jackets. I don't even need my face on. I just need my eyeball to be like.
There it is.
Tomorrow night, which is Thursday, the 13th through the 15th, you can check me out at the House of Comedy in Detroit. Please come out and see me at the House of Comedy in Detroit. If you come, do not come with your shenanigans, because I know how Detroit get down. I know how y'all get down in Detroit. But I always like Detroit too, because it's a lot of down-to-earth fun people. So come to see me 13th through the 15th at the House of Comedy in Detroit. I'm also going to be doing a one-nighter a couple of hours over in Cleveland, Ohio on the 16th at Hilarities. So you can see me either at the House of Comedy in Detroit, or you can see me on that one-nighter in Hilarities on the 16th. I look forward to seeing everybody come out and enjoy the show.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you both for chiming in on this topic. I'm always appreciative to have you both. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts of Charleston White now responding to T.I.? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in them comments.
Do you know the comedy culture? Play Comedy Hype, the game. Out now.